Alrighty, hello and welcome everybody to another iteration of Legacy Cube. I've been having a lot of fun. We just finished a great league playing an Is It Tempo deck. And so there's a couple of ways we can go here. We can either take Rafellos and try and do another more successful ramp deck, starting with an incredibly powerful ramp creature. We can take Ancient Tomb, which is a very good accelerating land. We can have Flooded Strand for some pretty good fixing, or Remove Soul, which we found out that counter spells in this cube are a lot more powerful than I was giving them credit for. And we could even take Ravenous Chupacabra, as it's like a really good removal creature spell, I guess. I think I'm going to go with Rafellos. I haven't gotten to draft him yet, but Rafellos dictates that we should be almost mono-green. Oh man, I should have taken the blue cards. But there is a mana dork in this pack. So let's try and do this. We'll try this one more time, just because I've never drafted Rafellos yet. Alright, there is a Bayou, which is good fixing when you have a guy that taps for mana equal to the number of forests you have. There's also a Reclamation Sage, which is pretty strong. I think one of the things we can change if we take Bayou and go like a green-black style deck, is we can protect our bigger threats and spells with things like Collective Brutality or Thoughtseize, provided we find them. So I'm going to take the fixing for now. Okay, so Sakura Tribe Elder is very good, Bloodstained Mire can find Bayou, and Garruk is also pretty decent. We don't have lands that generate more than 1 mana, because we did pass up on Ancient Tomb, which I think is the only one. However, he is a fairly aggressively costed threat. Steve is fantastic, but I think I'm gonna go with the Planeswalker here. Overgrown Tomb. There's also a Wall of Blossoms here, and a Wooded Foothills. Wow. Okay. I think we're gonna take the Overgrown Tomb and make the Black Splash more available, because then we only need like 1 fetch land, and we can guarantee we have single black mana for anything we want. Passing Beast Within feels kind of bad, and Wall of Blossoms is also kind of in that same... Oh gosh, okay. So we can take Chord of Calling, Gilded Goose, which is another mana dork, and a fairly good one at that, because it can gain us life if we're just doing nothing and dirtling, or a Woodland Cemetery for fixing. I think we've got to go with one of these 2 spells, though. And I think it's got to be the Goose. There are a couple of Chord of Calling effects, but this deck just wants a critical mass of 1-drop ramp, like, if at all possible. So we're going to go with that. I learned my lesson after last time, is what I'm saying. Okay. Mind Shatter is a card that might work in a green-black ramp deck like this, as it is sort of like a Mind Twist, but I think Tooth and Nail is going to be in general better, so we'll take Tooth and Nail. Having it this early lets us plan for having 2 really good Tooth and Nail targets. Oh my god, Natural Order and Uro. Well, we gotta go with Natural Order, because like, Dork, Natural Order, Hoof wins. So... Alright, Casualties of War, Treetop Village, Voice of Resurgence. I kind of like Casualties of War, as we are green-black, and this would be the deck to cast it in. I don't know how likely this is, but I am going to take it, and we'll see. Okay, Wolf Willowhaven, not bad. Just a 2-mana Utopia Sprawl effect. It's not a creature, so maybe we should be taking Finks, although we do have Garruk. We'll take Wolf Willowhaven for now. It gets better if we get like an Arbor Elf. Okay, Lumbering Falls came around. I think we gotta take Rex Sage though, because Rex Sage adds a lot of utility. And if we do get a Chord of Calling effect of any kind, it gives us the ability to snipe artifacts and enchantments. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard or Sweltering Suns. I think we gotta take the Sweltering Suns, just so other people don't have it. Okay, fetch lands should not go this late. I'd like to take Wall of Blossoms just as a cantrip creature, but we need the fixing. More fixing. Okay, black is wide open for us. We can splash any black card we'd like. Okay, so Fiend Artisan is good. Hex Drinker is good. Fauna Shaman is good, because Fauna Shaman can get us any of our big dudes. Atarka could be one of them. We do have a Wooded Foothills, so we could fetch for red, as well as Goose taps for red right now. Marsh Flats is more fixing for us. Heartless Act is a good removal spell. I don't like passing Hex Drinker, because Hex Drinker is a creature we can make absurd pretty quickly, but I think we have to pick at least one large green creature. So we'll take whatever's left in that pack when it comes around. Here's Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf's insane. Same with Abrupt Decay and Primal Command. Hopefully one of those makes it back to us, but Arbor Elf is what we need. Okay, we saw how crazy Clothis was. She does a ton of work. I don't know if she'll do as much work in this deck. There's also Big Garrick. He is pretty good. We can take Ramanop Excavator, but we only have one fetch land. I think we actually take Inquisition or Freebooter. And I think for us, having Freebooter is better. Oh, I didn't see Mirror Battlesphere. We could probably take Mirror Battlesphere as well. But I think we want to stick to... Mirror Battlesphere Hoof definitely wins. Oh, no, it doesn't, because they don't have haste. Never mind. I'm dumb. I think we actually take Freebooter here, because we kind of want creatures. Okay, Nissa. Nissa is good. She gets us more lands, as well as, like, transforms for value later. Here's a Badlands. Badlands would help us splash to, like, Atarka or future red spells. There's also Ugin, who's pretty good, and Assassin's Trophy. I think we gotta take Ugin, because Ugin's just nuts. Garrick Relentless is pretty good. I don't like Duplicant. I'll take other Garrick. Sword of Feast and Famine's like also a consideration, but it is worth noting that Woodland Cemetery does not synergize with Rofellos, and nor would Badlands if we took it. Here's a Lotus Cobra, Rotten Reggie, Doomblade, Batterskull. I think we gotta take the Cobra. We do have a fetch land. Alright. Genesis Wave or Walking Ballista. I think because our mana cost is much lower in this deck, Genesis Wave gets better, because X4, which is 7 mana, can hit any of these, like, 12 cards. What is that? 5 and 7? Yeah, that's 12. So we're definitely taking Genesis Wave. Fauna Shaman coming around is great. Fiend Artisan is also pretty good. They sort of serve similar roles, but Fiend Artisan can put a creature directly onto the battlefield and gets bigger, kind of like Goyf does. So I think Fiend Artisan is actually the pick. We could also take Murderous Redcap if we'd like, but... Abrupt Decay came around. Good news. Ramanop Excavator. Ramanop Excavator or Clothis. We only have one fetch land. There is another fetch land in this pack. But we don't have any additional land plays or anything, so I'm just going to take Clothis. Take Splinter Twin. Assassin's Trophy. So see, this is a much better... we are like disruptive mono-green ramp, because we have ways to disrupt our opponent's hand and board. And fairly decent ways of doing so, too. I guess that means we can run this. We're not playing either of those cards. And we're not playing that card. So what does this deck still need? We need Craterhoof Behemoth, and then like 2 or 3 more 1-mana ramp spells. That's it. Preferably creatures. And then after that, I wouldn't mind any green fetch land I could find. And probably black fetch lands as well, considering. Okay, we have no reason to splash white. Arid Mesa does not fetch any of our lands. Beanstalk Giant's okay. Grave Titan's okay. Hymn to Turok is great, except we're probably not hitting double black. And Elvish Mystic is one of those things I named that we still need, so I'm going to go for Elvish Mystic. I don't know if we'll see Hoof. We probably won't at this point, but Devoted Druid is a crazy ramp spell. Do we really have only one large creature payoff in the form of Atarka? Because that's bad. We have like Devoted Druid, Overgrown Battlement, or I think that's all we can take out of this pack. We could take Gilded Lotus. We don't have anything in the 5-mana slot. We'll take Devoted Druid. Praying for Hoof. Hashtag hoof me up. Alright, Woodfall Primus. Here to save the day. Satyr Wayfinder, not bad. Same with Read the Bones, Wasteland, and Stomping Ground. I would take all of those cards. But Woodfall Primus, we gotta take Woodfall Primus. We need other big creatures. It's kind of rare that you get this deep, drafting this open of a lane and not finding some huge payoff yet. It's one of those things that's like, unless you're in a situation where like everybody opened up a mono green finisher and first picked it, that something has been going kind of wrong. Whereas people are picking the bombs but none of the enablers, and that's not how you should draft. You kind of need some enablers before you really consider a bomb, unless you're first picking it and going to try and like force that strategy. So here we can take City of Brass, Courser, Crew Fix, or Harmonize. I'm fairly confident our mana is going to be okay. Both of these kind of serve the same role, but I'm worried about not having enough creatures, so I'm going to take Courser. Courser also gains life. Deep Forest Hermit here is probably going to be the pick. Making bunches of squirrels is great. Rampant Growth is fine, but we'll take Deep Forest Hermit. Okay, we have birds, which is probably what I'm going to pick here. There is Sneak Attack, but we don't have enough large creatures, although Sneak Attack Woodfall Primus is pretty dirty. Farseek here can get by you an Overgrown Tomb, which is good, but I would rather have more creatures than less. We could take Obosh, the Prey Piercer. A lot of our good creatures are in the odd mana cost slots, but I think the pick is birds. Okay, Taiga is great because Taiga lets us fetch for green and red off of Wooded Foothills. There is also Vraska Relic Seeker. That's not a bad planeswalker. Mana Denial in the form of Port, and Grave Hate in the form of Skoos. But at this point, I would rather just improve my mana as much as possible. We're not splashing blue for anything, so Breeding Pool's out. Doesn't enable any fetch lands. Crucible would be okay, but we only have one fetch land, so it's worse than Ramanop Excavator. I think we're going to take Great Henge because we're kind of reaching that critical mass of creatures where if you resolve a Great Henge, all of your dorks start drawing cards and gaining life and being aggressive threats. So, Great Henge it is. Also, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, Woodfall Primus goes infinite with Great Henge and a sack outlet, though I don't think there's any sack outlets at like left in the pack. At this point, I think we have to take Beanstalk Giant, because we do need. It's technically a top end creature. If we have enough lands, it's going to be massive. Oh, I should have seen this, and I should have taken Savannah, because that would let us splash for Mirari's Wake. That is a complete failure on my part, so that's my bad. We don't have that many ways to filter out of our colors, so I'm going to take Faithless Looting. Okay, Stomping Ground or Satyr Wayfinder. At this point, I'm going to take Stomping Ground. This Wooded Foothills is going to kind of be doing work. It's worth noting that other than Wooded Foothills and Woodland Cemetery, all of our special lands are forests for Raphellos. I think we take City of Brass here, even though it has a little bit of anti-synergy. I guess I'll take Goblin Trenches, Farseek, because we're not playing Deafening Clarion, and Thunderbreak Regent. Alright, now that that's over, I have to let the dog out. I will be right back. Alrighty, so let's build this deck. Let's group creatures separately here. So I think we need to cut a few non-creature spells. Wolf Willowhaven seems to be doing some of the least. Farseek I actually like because it can grab our off colors, which is something that we might struggle with a bit. Let me take these out of the deck really quick. Okay. So we need to cut 6 cards. So our 6 least likely to do anything cards. I really like basically all of these, but anything else should kind of be on the table here. I think cutting Casualties of War might be reasonable. It's not likely that we are going to get a full value Casualties of War, and even if we're ramping pretty hard, this is still like a turn 4 play. It could potentially be good. Like, if we destroy a creature, a land, and an artifact or an enchantment, it's 3 for 1. I hate how flip-floppy I am about stuff. I think Wild Speaker is better than our other Garrick, so we're going to cut him. I kind of like our top end. Genesis Wave is bad with basically these 3 cards, Natural Order, Casualties of War, and Tooth and Nail. Everything else is good to go with Genesis Wave. So Genesis Wave's fantastic. I think Abrupt Decay is going to be quite situational. I think with Birds, Gilded Goose, Lotus Cobra, and our fetch lands, we're probably just okay to cut Farseek. I think it was a huge mistake not taking Savannah and Mirari's Wake, because we do actually have an Avacyn's Pilgrim, which I missed during the draft, so that was kind of a big deal. I think Assassin's Trophy has still wide enough targets that it's going to be good. Unfortunately, Natural Order does not have that many good targets, but it's still a way to tutor out and cheat out a specific large green creature that we have. So I'm willing to keep that. It's also technically a sacrifice outlet for Woodfall Primus, if we get into a very strange situation. But like, Fiend Artisan, Woodfall Primus, and Great Henge, I think goes infinite, as in like, Woodfall Primus every turn. That would be fun. Don't really want to cut any of our creatures, if we can avoid it. We need to cut 3 more cards, though. We're at 18 creatures, and I don't want to be at less than 16. Beanstalk Giant is good because we can frequently use his Rampant Growth on turn 2, and then later can cast him from exile. Otherwise, I would cut him. Okay, what is our absolute worst creature? If we were going to cut a creature, what is our worst creature? It might be Reclamation Sage, because we do not have a great tutor effect for it. We can Fiend Artisan for Reclamation Sage, and it's good going 1 mana creature into Rec Sage. It's one of our few 3-drop plays that a 1 mana enabler gets to, but without knowing what deck we're playing against, it frequently could be a 3 mana 2/1, so it's just a little bit higher risk. I expect this to be sideboarded pretty frequently. Like sideboarded in, I mean. Okay, then I gotta cut 1 more card. Realistically, it should probably be the Great Henge, but I'm gonna keep that in. Man, this is very difficult. What do I cut here? I don't want to cut Garruk because he's like a 2-turn overrun that can be played early, like in his worst mode. I should probably cut Casualties of War. I think it's probably going to be clunkier than sweet. So, alright. Let's add our lands. I don't know. Let's see. This suggests 8 forests, 1 swamp. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6 red sources. Okay. Alright, I can get behind this. Oh, wait, what? Add basic lands. Add a forest. I don't know if I adjusted that count. But hey, we made a 40-card deck. We might need 17 lands, but we don't have much filtering, so I'm not going to start with 17 lands here. Okay. So we lost the die roll. We're on the draw, which is significantly worse for us. Okay, we have a Freebooter, we have Devoted Druid, and Tooth and Nail, so I'm going to keep. We do have Assassin's Trophy for a particular problematic permanent if we see one. Opponent is also on the ramp plan. Unfortunately, we don't have like a Fatal Push anywhere in our deck. I think... So our opponent is going to turn on a Soul Ring here, which is pretty good. Oh no. That is a lot of mana. We draw Clothis. I think we have to Freebooter here. Opponent has Thragtusk and nothing else. Okay. It's actually not that scary. I thought we were going to suffer something way worse. And Raphelos here is just going to be a Elvish Mystic, a 2-mana Elvish Mystic, whatever that's called. There was one printed in Kaladesh, and I don't remember the specific name. But our opponent is going to play a Thragtusk. Okay, so we know they're holding 2 mountains. And apparently have a Yorion, which makes this way worse. I didn't see they revealed Yorion, so I'm glad I clicked the revealed cards. So holding 2 mountains, 1 unknown. Man, Yorion flickering that board would be pretty grody. Well, flickering Thragtusk would be pretty grody, I mean. That's a lot of life to gain. I guess flickering these 2 cards would be meh and bad, so... Oh, man. I'm kind of hyped for the 6-mana Sublime Epiphany coming out in 2021, because I really want to put it in the Yorion Replicate deck, because it's an additional Stifle, an additional Cackling Counterpart effect, and, like, it's just nasty. Even if it is just going to be like a one-of, because it is 6 mana. Okay, opponent is in the tank. We would like to draw one of our 1-mana ramp spells, and then next turn draw a land. Alright, opponent passes. We untap, draw a forest, play a forest, play Devoted Druid. Pass the turn, so next turn we will have 6 mana. Potentially. Opponent attacks with Thragtusk, no blocks. Take 5. They're going to draw a Yorion. So they're holding a Yorion now. Play a mountain. We draw Nissa, Vastwood Seer. So we can play a forest, play Nissa, get a forest, pass the turn. Then we have Tooth and Nail, 1 mode. Opponent seems to be a little bit choked on colors, trying to cast Yorion. But we can respond to Yorion flickering Thragtusk by killing Thragtusk, which would leave them with just the token and a land. But we'll see. They'll also have a 4/5 flyer, which is kind of a problem. Okay, opponent attacks with Thragtusk. I guess we do this now to save the damage. Like, we could wait until our opponent puts Yorion on the stack, but right now they have no good flicker targets. Although we did just ramp them a lot. So if they play Yorion now, he's going to be a 0 value 4/5 flyer. Which, I mean, is pretty good. That's like an air elemental, right? Okay. So we untap, we draw forest. We're getting clicked. So opponent can see Deep Forest Hermit and Tooth and Nail, as well as Klothys. But they could potentially give us something better to cast than Deep Forest Hermit. Yep, they get rid of Deep Forest Hermit. So we play a forest. I don't think we added a mountain. I think we only have a swamp. So because of that, we're just going to cast Beanstalk Giant. Oh wait, I have to use both of our Devoted Druid mana to do that. Maybe we should have a mountain in the deck. I just worry because of Rofellos. So opponent can flicker click next turn and take Tooth and Nail. But yeah, let's Fertile Footsteps. Get a forest. And then pass. If our opponent wants to flicker click, they have to do so during their first main phase. Unless they have removal for Kitesail Freebooter, because I will trade it for click pretty hands down here. Okay, opponent going to combat. They attack for 3, we will not block. We go to 12. Oh god, 10 mana. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's an upheaval. Brutal. Opponent can recast like can cast their mana dorks, Rofellos, and the other one that I can't remember the name of right now. Uraga Tree Speaker, that's the one. And they get to level it up. Man, if we had 1 mana removal here, hope we draw a mana dork. We don't. Is our... Oh my god, it really is Forest Pass. There's nothing we can play. Oh, jeez. So we're discarding like 3 lands at least. We gotta discard 2 other cards. Land and I guess Klothys. Kinda need a Tarka. Yeah. Alright. Oh, this is a problem. When it plays a forest, they do have a bunch of mana, but they get in for 2. They play Baloth. Gain life. We draw the Great Henge. Play Devoted Druid. Pass the turn. Can't believe I got wrecked again by Upheaval. Can't believe I ever talked crap about that card. Take 6, go to 4. Opponent levels up Tree Speaker again and again. We untap. We draw Deep Forest Hermit. Play a forest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Untap it. 5. Deep Forest Hermit. Go get him, crazy squirrel person. I actually don't know if that's a man or a woman in that art. Not that I can identify male or female elves, but heck, that might even just be a polymorphed squirrel for all I know. Opposition. Fun. That's fun magic. Oh, the best part is we have like no instance. Okay, we untap. Vanishing counter removed. They can tap all of our lands if they want. Get a forest, play a forest. This costs like 7. Okay. Play Nissa. Go get a forest. Well, we only have 2 forests left in the deck. That's not good. Note to self, this opponent has Upheaval. Opponent plays another land, Rampant Growths. It's another island. Passes. We untap, Vanishing counter. We draw Woodfall Primus. May click us. Alright. I only have a lot of things in hand. And they're getting more information about how they should use their opposition. Man, green-blue really is the mana dork archetype. I don't know why I try anything else. I guess we didn't see an upheaval or an opposition, to my knowledge. I may have glanced over opposition if we saw it. Opponent does not click any of our lands. Or any of our cards, I mean. They are going to tap our swamp, sure. They could take us down to 2 mana, and it looks like they're going to. Play a forest. Still costs 7. Still can't cast Freebooter. We pass. Man, upheaval into opposition. That's unnecessarily brutal. Opponent attacks us for 3, takes us to 1. Yorion. And their Flicker Baloth, Vendilion click. Okay, so they gain more life, get to click us again. They do not take any of our cards. We untap. Last Vanishing counter. Away goes the Deep Forest Hermit. Draw Genesis Wave. Genesis Wave does not do anything. So, we're going to go ahead and scoop it up. Go to game 2. And pray for a faster start, I think. So we definitely want Abrupt Decay. We definitely want Rex Sage. And at this point, we probably want Casualties of War. So we need to cut 3 cards that I feel like are not going to be as useful in this matchup. I think those cards are going to be Beanstalk Giant, Freebooter. Probably should also have City of Brass in this deck. So we had a slight amount of problem getting to red mana. Because Klothys would have helped a lot. She would have kept us alive for a while. I mean, not through the upheaval, but, you know, if we'd have been able to cast her sooner, it would have been good. I gotta cut 1 card and just run 41. Great Henge is probably too slow in this matchup, so try it like this. Considering none of our low drops have a reasonable amount of power, But if we get a quick natural order into Woodfall Primus, we should be okay. Okay. Devoted Druid. We can cast Clothis. We do have Rexage. His hand's just not fast. I think I'm going to mulligan. I think we need something a little more aggressive. And I think this counts. We're going to keep... I'm going to put back Assassin's Trophy. Start Forest, Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Forest. Passes. We draw Elvish Mystic. I think we attack for 1 and play Mystic. Oh, this is awkward. We need to draw a land. Because a land is how we're going to play... Let's attack for... No, let's just play out our dorks. We need to draw a land, though. Lotus Cobra is how we're going to fix our colors, so hopefully it stays alive. I was kind of hoping our opponent would start with a dork, and then we could Abrupt Decay it. Okay, we untap, we draw. Gilded Goose. Well, Gilded Goose is mana of any color. So let's go ahead and attack for 4. Well, at least we know we're not going to get dazed here. Make a food. Pass the turn. Gonna plays a mountain. Into a Mana War. Bouncing the Cobra. Sure. Okay, we untap. We draw. Rexage. So I think we just play Clothis here. I don't think this is worth Abrupt Decaying. Not yet, anyway. So play Clothis. Pass the turn. Opponent has a Hunt Master of the Fells. That is a problem that Abrupt Decay doesn't solve. Especially because our opponent is going to be flickering it at some point. So we untap, we draw a Natural Order, and we definitely Natural Order, like 100%. We're going to Natural Order and sack Arbor Elf. Probably the Goose, actually. So the question is, do we get Woodfall Primus or Atarka? Atarka completely wipes their board. Woodfall Primus, on the other hand, sets them back on mana. Let's get Atarka. Oh, I sacked the Goose. I guess I meant to do that. Oh, it's only 5 damage. Well, we kill the important ones anyway. Alright, pass the turn. Now, as soon as we play anything else next turn, we can play Abrupt Decay. And we can attack with Clothis. Okay, we untap. Let's exile Hunt Master. Alright. Play Lotus Cobra. Play a Forest. Add black mana. Abrupt Decay the token. Go to combat. Attack for 12. Opponent goes to 8. Pass the turn. Alright, we got there. Alright. Let's do this. Let's have another quick victory, shall we? Hopefully. This does not look like a quick victory. This looks like a 3-card hand. So we're gonna mulligan. This looks way better. We will definitely keep this. I think we gotta put back Rexage. So, alright, see what our opponent does. Turn 1, Forest. We draw a Forest. Play a Forest, pass the turn. Opponent, turn 2, Island. Pass, we draw Forest. We'll play a Forest. Play Raphellos. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Legion Warboss. Makes a Goblin that has to attack. We take the 1. Alright, big thing we can cast. Fiend Artisan kind of counts. So play a Taiga. We have 6 mana. Oh, we could have probably gotten a little bit more if we played the Lotus Cobra first. Okay. Play Clothis. Play Fiend Artisan. Pass the turn. We will be able to Fiend Artisan for something huge unless they have removal. Opposition. Warboss opposition seems pretty decent. They attack us for 1, no blocks. I feel really bad for throwing away that Rex Age now. We draw Tooth and Nail. If they don't tap Fiend Artisan, we can play Lotus Cobra, play a land, and get Rex Age. Play Lotus Cobra, I think. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Oh no, we'd be 1 short. Well, we can cash out Lotus Cobra for something a little better. And let's go to combat. Okay, they tap Clothis. It's fine. Go to second main. Play a forest. We will use its ability. We'll add green. Sack Lotus Cobra. Get Devoted Druid. Pass the turn. Opponent ponders. They play a forest. They morph something huge, probably. I actually have no idea what that morph is. I don't know how many morphs are in this cube. We could have technically blocked that. Okay, we untap. We draw Nissa, Vastwood Seer. Opponent's going to tap Raphellos. Okay. They should probably tap Fiend Artisan. They tap Clothis. And they tap Taiga. Okay. And they tap another land. Sure. So we're going to exile Ponder. So we have 1, 2... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So we can Fiend Artisan, get anything cost 4 or less, so we can get Rex Age and kind of end this horrible nightmare. So play City of Brass, untap Devoted Druid, X3, sack Devoted Druid, get Rex Age, kill Opposition, pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest. Is this a upheaval? Did they draw Yorion on a previous turn? I think they did. Because they could Yorion flicker the morph. They're gonna... Oh no! Why? Oh, that sucks. Okay, yeah, they get a 1/1 that attacks. Sure, we're not gonna block it. That's stupid. Okay, they tap Raphellos. Here I thought we were in the clear. They tap Fiend Artisan. Okay, they should have been doing that sooner. They tap Clothis. They tap Taiga. And they tap City of Brass, because now they can deal damage to us. Well, exile a Cobra. Make them lose life. We'll gain life. Play a forest. Play Nissa. Get a forest. Pass the turn. Do we want to attack? I actually think we want to attack. Take our opponent to 14. So now when they are forced to attack with a Goblin, we are going to block with a 2/2. Opponent 5 mana for Gilded Lotus. 4 mana for Baloth. Walking Ballista, X2. Well, that deals with Nissa, unfortunately. Oh, that deals with Raphellos. Okay, they make a guy and attack. Okay, the opposition on their turn, just to make sure they can get in. We untap, we draw. Natural Order. Well, as long as we're left with 4 or more mana total, we should be fine. They tap Taiga. They tap Fiend Artisan. They tap City of Brass. Tap Forest. They tap Nissa. Okay, we exile Devoted Druid, ping our opponent. Play a Forest. Transform Nissa. We can make a 4/4, but why would we do that when we can? Natural Order, Rex Age. Let's go get a Tarka. Ping like that. Because that kills their creature engine and their 3 most important X1s. We're going to tap a Tarka, sure. They ping us. Kill most of their board. So we can either uptick. I think we just uptick. Because in order to kill her, they have to tap most of their creatures. We reveal Woodfall Primus. I guess we could have also Woodfall Primist to get rid of opposition that may have actually been stronger. My hope was we weren't going to draw Woodfall Primus. Opponent is going to attack Nissa and us. Sure. Are they upheavaling? Because upheaval would be pretty bad. The problem is we no longer have Raphellos, which is our insane mana ramp. The good news is our opponent loses all their goblins if they upheaval. But then they can probably remorph their Den Protector and get back their War Boss. They Bloodbraid Elf into a Tree Speaker. Okay. That's good, but that may not be enough to win. We'll see. Okay, we draw land, which was atrocious. So play a land, that's all we can do. We pass. Discard City of Brass. 3 lands. And I guess Tooth and Nail. Because our other cards in our hand are just better to play along the way anyway. Opponent plays an island, levels up Tree Speaker. Problem is they're going to play opposition next turn and keep us off of mana for a very long time. We get Bayou. Play Bayou. Play Fiend Artisan. Which is big enough to block and relatively a big threat. If we can get down Klothys this turn, we'll be in a good spot. Because we can start draining our opponent, who is very low on their clock from having to opposition all the time. Okay, we untap, we draw. Abrupt Decay. We can kill Tree Speaker with that. Which we are going to do. Okay. Play a Forest, and attack for 4. So our opponent can play another creature this turn. Overgrown Battlement. Okay, so they do have 2 creatures they can play this turn. They identify that choking us off of our mana is the way that they're going to have to win. So they hit us down to 9. We untap, draw Woodland Cemetery. So they either tap our guy and a land, or they tap 2 lands. Okay. Play a Taiga. Play Klothys. Pass the turn. Klothys doing work. Because our opponent is only barely keeping us off of mana, and Klothys is a clock. Opponent gets in for 3, takes us to 6. They play a Forest, and a Carnage Tyrant. Okay, never mind, I think we're dead. So we untap, draw Forest. That's bad. They tap our red mana, tap our guy. We can get up to 4 mana, but it doesn't do anything. This was very close. Our opponent does not have that much time left on their clock either. That's very disappointing because, like, we were incredibly close to beating them. They had to have a clock, and they had to have it pretty much that turn, or we were going to win. Yep, that is a depressing end to round 1. A very, very, very long round 1. Alright, well, I will see you guys in round 2. Alrighty. Round 2, here we go. Alright, this hand's not amazingly fast, but I think we can keep. Opponent starts Swamp. Thoughtseize. This makes our hand way worse. They take Garrick. We draw Tooth and Nail, play a Forest, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Forest, plays an Elves of Deep Shadow. We untap, we draw Forest, play a Forest, play Devoted Druid, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Forest into a Solemn Simulacrum. What's up, Sad Robot? So they get a Forest, we draw Courser of Krufix. We should probably play Courser this turn. So play Woodland Cemetery, Courser. Top of our deck is Birds. Okay, that's not bad. Opponent plays a Swamp. Vivian Monsters Advocate. They make a Beast. And they give that beast vigilance. Okay, we untap, we draw birds. Stomping Ground on top of our deck. So we can play birds, play Fiend Artisan, play Stomping Ground, pass, I think. So play birds, play Stomping Ground, untapped, gain a life. Play Fiend Artisan. And I think we Assassin's Trophy this. I think our opponent getting to search their deck. It's kind of unacceptable at the moment. Because if our opponent like untapped minus Vivian and then played, hell, I don't know, Carnage Tyrant, just to name something, and then getting like an Acidic Slime would wreck us, absolutely. 7 mana. 6 mana, Ballista. X3. They kill Fiend Artisan. They kill birds. Then they pass. Or no, they attack. You know what? If they're willing to get rid of their Ballista, this is fine. We untap. We draw a forest. We play a forest. Ugin on top. That's pretty nice. Alright, we'll pass. So now we have to be careful because our opponent... Ah, crap. That's not good. Opponent gets in for 5, no blocks. We untap, we draw Ugin. So play a forest. The problem is the instant we put the trigger on the stack to untap Devoted Druid, we can't play Ugin. We can cast Tooth and Nail and tutor up creatures, which is probably what we should do, but we're not putting them onto the battlefield if we do that. So they're going to hit us for 1, 2, 3, 4... Actually, this is 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to hit us for 8. We got a Tooth and Nail this turn. And we are going to go get a Tarka. And I guess what else is good here? Woodfall Primus. Alright, so we have all of our big things. Ideally, next turn, we're going to play an Ugin and minus... Actually, probably playing Tarka first. Because Ugin minus 6, while it does take care of Vraska, the Beast, the Pirate, and the Elf, it does not take care of the Walking Ballista. You could have done that second main and got in 2 more damage, but they did not. Opponent reads the Bones. They draw 2 cards, scrying 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom. Hits us for a bunch. So we untap, we draw Elvish Mystic, play a Forest, play a Tarka. The question is, what do we hit and how much? So we should probably hit Solemn for 2, because Ugin cannot handle Solemn. And then we can kill the Beast, or we can hit Vraska down to 2. And that way she can't just minus and kill a Tarka. Yeah, let's do that. And then we really need to draw an untapped land. Opponent gets to draw an additional card. We really, really need to draw an untapped land. Like, super bad. Okay, opponent makes Pirate. Freebooters to take Ugin. Alright, ouch. Okay, we still really, really need to draw an untapped land like no tomorrow. Wormcoil Engine! Alright, sir. That's not okay. You can't just do that. That's... Pretty sure that's illegal. Play a Swamp. Play Woodfall Primus. Kill Vraska. I think we attack with a Tarka. Actually, are we just dead? If they attack with Wormcoil, we block here. They gain 6. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have to keep a Tarka back on defense. Lame. So lame. Opponent plays a Mind Stone. Goes to combat. Swings. Okay. Well, block here. Persist. Kill a Forest. Yeah, we just didn't do anything for too long. And our opponent had, like, some pretty wicked disruption on some good turns. Alright, we get it. Abrupt Decay coming in. Casualties of War coming in. We'll drop a forest for a City of Brass. We're going to cut the Great Henge. Opponent has a lot of artifacts, so Rex Sage is coming in for sure. We're going to bring in Rex Sage over Kitesail Freebooter, because while Freebooter does have a couple of targets, Rex Sage answers some of their bigger stuff on board. If only we had hoof. Alright. Well, this is a turn 3 natural order, so I'm going to keep. It is a natural order for Woodfall Primus. So start Forest, play Elvish Mystic, pass the turn. It will be unfortunate if we need a natural order for Atarka. Opponent plays a Forest. Nothing. We draw. Taiga. Play a Forest. Go to combat. Attack for 1. This opponent needs to have an answer for our dork. They put explosives on 2. Well, I hate to say it, I don't think that's good enough. Play Taiga. Natural order. Sack Mystic. Get Primus. We destroy black mana or green mana. Oh, well, they concede. So what did we learn about this deck? This deck is good when you natural order. Full stop. Alright, game 3. I like how our games are either 20,000 minutes long or natural order on the 3rd turn. There appears to be nothing in between. Alright, we're on the draw again. Okay. Alright, this is some pretty heavy ramp. We'll keep. Opponent likely has some sort of disruption, but Elves of Deep Shadow, sure. We untap. We draw a swamp. Play Forest, Elvish Mystic, pass the turn. I think the only way we ramp harder than we do right now is if we draw Raphellos. And they play a Doomblade on Elvish Mystic. We take 1. We draw Assassin's Trophy. Play Forest, play Lotus Cobra. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp. We have a 4-mana play, and it is a Hangerback Walker. Okay, we untap, we draw. Fiend Artisan. Should be quite good this turn. Play a Swamp. Use Lotus Cobra's ability at green mana. Play Avacyn's Pilgrim. Play Fiend Artisan. And pass the turn. Opponent plays a Lotus Cobra. Plays a land, gets a mana. Knight's Whisper. Gonna lose some life to draw some cards. Charge up their Hangerback. Okay, we untap. Draw Devoted Druid. Play a Forest. If we add red, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. We could go get a Deep Forest Hermit. What else is in our deck? It might be worth getting rid of Lotus Cobra and going and getting Raphellos. But Lotus Cobra is our only source of red mana right now. Play Devoted Druid. We could go get Rex Sage and pop Hangerback now, but we lose a mana if we do that. Could get Courser. It might help us get through our deck faster, but we still lose a mana if that happens. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana next turn. Just no red mana. Actually, let's sack Lotus Cobra and get Courser. Or Clothis. Clothis could be good. There are no lands in the grave, though, so we can't use her for the ramp mode. How many green mana symbols do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She won't quite be a creature. We could get Nissa and get a land. Problem is we're kind of late for Woodfall Primus to be very good. So I think we get Clothis. Clothis should be a little harder for our opponent to answer. Okay. Opponent plays a land, gets a mana off of Cobra. Plays Garruk. Makes a beast. May hit us for 5, sure. So let's see, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 mana next turn. 7 guaranteed. We can go down to 5 to play Assassin's Trophy. If we hit one of their lands, we can go up to 6. But we have no idea what we're going to draw. I guess we could draw step Assassin's Trophy, potentially. Okay, Beanstalk Giant is not what we were hoping for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fiend Artisan for 6-drop doesn't do it. Okay. So, exile Walking Ballista. Let's go ahead and Fertile Footsteps. Get a Forest. Assassin's Trophy Garrick. It's better to do that on our turn than theirs, because they're almost out of mana, and Lotus Cobra is a thing, is what I was trying to say before my brain shut off. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Batter Skull. Living Weapon. Hits us for 6, that's fine. We untap, draw Nissa. Exile Garrick. Gain some life. Opponent only has 2 mana right now, so we could go and get Reclamation Sage to deal with Batterskull. Play Nissa. Clothis online. Get a Forest. Play a Forest. We gotta sack Pilgrim for this. Get Rec Sage. Kill Batterskull. Okay, we're gonna keep Clothis on defense. Opponent plays a land. Gets mana off of Cobra. Charges up Hangerback Walker. Plays Raphellos. No attacks. We untap. Draw Overgrown Tomb. I guess we don't need this stop on our draw step anymore. We exile Batterskull. So now we can play Overgrown Tomb, flip Nissa. Did our opponent concede? What happened? They did. Modo. Modo. Well, Modo is quality programming. I'll see you guys in round 3. We were probably going to go get Woodfall Primus there, but just because we were going to have an absurd amount of mana, and we were going to make a 4/4 token. Alright, we'll play first. This hand is almost excellent. Hopefully we draw something. We're going to keep. Start Forest, Birds. Pass the turn. Okay, we draw Clothis. New plan. Play Forest. Play Clothis. Pass the turn. I think we're also not doing quite as good because there's been a number of times we've gotten mana screwed, like color screwed, despite the fact that we have fairly decent fixing. So, I don't really know what's going on. I think we probably should be doing better in this league than we are. I have made a couple of misplays, though. Opponent plays an island. Our old nemesis. So we untap. We draw. Forest. Play Forest. Play Arbor Elf. Play Gilded Goose. Make a food. And pass the turn. They'll never expect an Assassin's Trophy. At least we're gaining a lot of life as long as Goose stays alive. I don't know if that's going to be good enough to do anything, but it's something we can do. Okay, opponent plays Polluted Delta. And passes. We untap. We draw. Tooth and Nail. So play Wooded Foothills. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 mana. Okay, so we're only one off of entwining a Tooth and Nail here. Okay, opponent cracks Polluted Delta. Gets a Tundra. Plays an Island. And a Johnny Vengeant. Sure. If they Lightning Helix a creature, they need to hit Arbor Elf. Yup. Okay. Well. Assassin's Trophy of Johnny. Down goes Mr. Arbor Elf. Make a food. Untap. We draw. Stomping Ground. Exile a Johnny. Hit our opponent. Play Stomping Ground. Tapped. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent untaps. Plays a Misty Rainforest. Sure, cracks it. Gets an Island. Plays a Consecrated Sphinx. That's a problem. That's like Tooth and Nail doesn't even solve that problem kind of problem. So we're going to make a food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we need to exile a land and hope we draw an untapped land. We do. Okay. Opponent gets to draw some extra cards. We exile Misty Rainforest. Add red mana. Play a forest. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a Bayou. Entwine Tooth and Nail. So then we get... Tarka doesn't really do anything. Woodfall Primus does a little bit. We can either get like Primus Fiend Artisan or like Primus Freebooter. Let's get Primus Freebooter. Deep Forest Hermit makes the board wider, but like let's try and interact with our opponent a little bit so we don't just get like swords or something. So we'll destroy the Tundra, take away their only white source, and Freebooter. They have Hour of Devastation, Is It Charm, Lava Coil, and Treachery. I think we just lost. Like, we definitely take Treachery. But, like, I definitely think we just lost the game. And there's not a damn thing we can do about it. We can't even attack. Pass the turn. We know they're holding these 6 cards. It's kind of irrelevant, but like, might as well keep track, right? They can even kill Clothis with Hour of Devastation. Yup. Attack for 4. We take it. Then they can just Lava Coil Izzet Charm. Gets to draw additional cards. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and scoop it up. I don't want them to see anything else. And we've seen enough. Gonna bring in Casualties of War and City of Brass. Gonna go down. We're just gonna go to 41 cards. Alright, we'll play first. This might get us somewhere, maybe. I'll keep. Start Forest Birds. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Mountain. We draw Bayou. Play Bayou. Play Mystic. Play Artisan. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. Fire Prophecies are birds. Okay. They do draw a card. We draw Ugin. So we have a plan. And that plan is to get Raphelos and be completely uncontested. We could get Clothis and try and slowly drain our opponent out. But we're gonna try and high roll. Our opponent is going to bolt that with extreme prejudice. Raphelos does one of 3 things. He either is a lightning rod, wins the game, or does absolutely nothing. There's no in between. There's no, like, mediocre Raphelos. Yep, he gets Izzet Charmed. Okay. Well, we have a 4/4 now. So we untap. Natural Order would be a pretty good draw. Get a Devoted Druid. So go to combat. Smack for 4. Hit our opponent to 16. Play Overgrown Tomb tapped. Play Devoted Druid. Pass the turn. They play Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta. And get a Tundra. Then play Mr. Mind Sculptor. Unsummon Fiend Artisan, sure. We draw Wooded Foothills. So, replay Fiend Artisan. Play Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. Opponent unsummons Fiend Artisan again. Kind of hoping they tap out for something that doesn't kill Devoted Druid. Because then we can play Ugin. Okay. Well, fetch Stomping Ground tapped. Untap. We draw Tarka. Let's cast a Tarka. As it is technically an answer to Jace. Play a Tarka. Doing it this way, because if we get dazed, we can, or censored or something like that, we can untap and pay for it. Cryptic Command is not one of those things I said. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent going to Fate Seal us. They have not seen Ugin. They put a card on the bottom. They play an island. And pass. So we draw Avacyn's Pilgrim. Why is it that every single blue deck I play against has Click? Alright, well they get to see Ugin. Jerk. Take Ugin. Alright, well we drew Woodfall Primus. So I guess we try and cast a Woodfall Primus. This might scare our opponent enough to try and... Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Cast Woodfall Primus. Kill Jace. Sweet. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent untaps, attacks with click. They're going to hit us for 3. We go to 14. Draw Taiga. Play Taiga. Go to combat. Attack our opponent for 6. Okay. They go to 9. Play Fiend Artisan. Play Pilgrim. Pass the turn. Oh, they have more than one burn spell for him? They use their 2 damage burn spell. Yeah, so we can't even put a counter on Devoted Druid to save him. Which would have been sweet if we could. Opponent plays a Johnny. They bolt Primus. Oh no, they say Primus can't untap. So unless we get Natural Order, we can't sack Primus. Which is unfortunate. We take 3, go to 11. Okay. Come on, Natural Order. Okay. There's a Wild Speaker. So go to combat. Hit a Johnny for 1. Play Garrick. Make a beast. Pass the turn. Making our opponent make decisions. Opponent says Woodfall Primus cannot untap. Plays a Glenalandra Archmage. Okay. Natural Order, no longer a good thing. They attack us. I'm trying to think of what good creature spells we could possibly have. Because that was the biggest problem with this deck, is we did not have as many like bomb payoff creatures. I think our last one is the Giant, who at this point is pretty medium. Okay, we untap. Draw Casualties of War. Well, let's destroy a creature, destroy a land, and a planeswalker. Do something like that. They will counter this. 100%. Not with what I thought they would, though. Alright, so they're going to tap out next turn. So we go to combat. Attack a Johnny. Because if we don't, they'll just kill us with flyers and a lightning helix. So we have to take a Johnny to 1. I see. They used Pact because if they had used Glenalandra, we could have also hit a Johnny with the 1/1, and like they would have either had to trade or block here, and that they would have lost like too many resources, I think. Okay. Johnny goes to 1. Garrick makes a beast. And we pass. Okay, opponent has to tap out this turn. Okay, they say Primus can't untap. They do not have a land. They attack us for 5. So we need an answer to a creature, or we need 2 extra damage. Unfortunately, Clothis would not do it either. We untap. Draw Woodland Cemetery, and I think, unfortunately for us, that's it. We can hit our opponent for 7, but we've got nothing else. So, kill a Johnny, kill our opponent. Oh, kill a Johnny and hit our opponent for 4. Got nothing. Well, a disappointing end to a long league, but we did at least get a single match win, which is good. Let me know in the comments if I made any mistakes by your metrics. It would be interesting to see other people's opinions. Also, let me know if these videos are too long. If you'd like me to cut out like some of the losses and just like insert like a quick blurb about, oh, this is what happened. If it's uninteresting to watch, I'd be interested to see your opinion on that. If you liked the video though, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you liked. Subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. You can also follow me on Twitch, same username there as you find me here. And yeah. Oh yeah, and videos are on the weekends now. We're doing videos 7 days a week because we're ramping up, getting a lot more viewership, and it's great. You're all wonderful human beings, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!